Hey everybody, it's Cerilla, and it's been so long since I've actually just sat here and talked to you. It's been like 2 weeks. I was on vacation for those past few weeks, so I'm hoping that you'll forgive me. But I missed you guys so much that I thought I'd make a video. And today's video is actually going to be about school. Now, I haven't been in school for a few years now, but I know that school for some of you may be starting really soon or has already started. Now, some of these tips might not apply to you if you've already started school, but if you haven't, here they are, my back to school tips. Okay, so my first back to school tip, as you may know, get plenty of sleep. Now, I didn't do this when I was younger and in school, and now that it's passed, I kind of wish I did, because I would always wake up tired and sleepy, and then I would just, lay my head down on the desk for the remainder of the morning and not pay attention to any of my classes. So, my tip is to make sure you get plenty of sleep, not just the night before, but at least 2 nights before, so you have your whole body rested up. I was a fool and never went to bed until at least 1 in the morning, which isn't very good if you have to get up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock just to be at school by a certain time. So my first tip, make sure you get plenty of sleep. Okay, so for my second tip would be readiness. Get your stuff ready before you walk out the door tomorrow morning. Because knowing me, I always end up forgetting stuff and then remembering them when I'm halfway to the place that I need to be. So a tip to do this, to remember all the stuff that you need before you walk out the door, is put them by your shoes. You have to have your shoes before you walk out in the morning. Whatever you're wearing, may it be flip-flops, tennis shoes, sneakers, anything that you can think of. So put your book bags, your coats, anything that you think you may need by your shoes, and you'll obviously remember it because you have to put your shoes on before you walk out the door. Now, the other tip that goes along with readiness is picking out your clothes. Now, I know this sounds elementary school-ish, but believe me, it saves a lot of time instead of having to do this. You will actually be able to have a lot more time to eat breakfast, to go to school actually on time, or even before that matter, and try to find some of your classes if you have your schedule already. So getting your clothes ready and making sure you have your stuff where they belong helps a lot when you have your first day of school. Morning routine. So, morning routine. Now, I was always too lazy to get up in the morning to actually do a beautiful updo with braids and everything elaborate. I didn't do my makeup because I didn't own any makeup, for that matter. And in my opinion, doing something simple with your hair and your makeup is a lot quicker than having to do something that takes hours and having to worry about it throughout the day if it's going to mess up. Doing something simple is going to save you a lot of time in the morning, and it's going to feel so much better without you having to worry if your hair is going to stay where it's supposed to be, if you have to redo your makeup. It's a lot less worrying than you should. Okay, and I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you go to the restroom before you start any of your classes, before you go to homeroom, before you get your schedule, before you do anything. If you're anything like me, when you're nervous, you have to go to the bathroom, and sometimes not every time is the perfect time to go. So if you go to the bathroom before you go to class or before you get your schedule, you won't have to worry about it while you're in class. Making both written notes and mental notes is a very good idea because making mental notes will help you in a very good way. Making a mental note of the school, having alternate routes to your locker is a very good idea because sometimes hallways can get crowded, and if you're one of those people that has a locker on the other side of the crowded hallway, then you could be one of those people that gets plastered up against the wall while trying to reach said locker. So finding alternate routes and places to go to avoid that altogether will help you and save your body parts in the long run. Now, making written notes is also a very good idea because each teacher for each class has different rules and different agendas for their classroom. Now, not all teachers have a paper that has their agenda, their rules, and everything written down on it. This is a good and bad thing because it gives you the chance to show the teacher that you were paying attention while writing down their rules and their agendas. That way, if you have any questions during the middle of the school year, you won't have a problem showing the teacher the paper and saving you a lot of time in the long run, therefore impressing your teacher as well. Sometimes high school or middle school can be a very big place, and sometimes you can get lost. Now, this is actually a fear of mine that I had when I first started high school. My high school wasn't too big. It was one floor, but it was so big still that I was so scared I wasn't going to get to my classes in time and that I would get in trouble. Now, if you ever have this problem or the feeling that you're lost, just ask the upperclassmen. Most of the upperclassmen have not only been there the longest, but most of them are pretty nice to show you where the classrooms are at. And if you ever have any other problems with asking the upperclassmen, always ask a teacher for help. After the school day is over and after you've had lunch, made some new friends, you end up going back home and you have homework, you have all this other stuff that's piled on top of you. First thing I would suggest doing is going home and grabbing an after-school snack. Not something like a meal, just maybe some carrots or some apples, something healthy that you can snack on, and that way you won't be hungry. Now, not being hungry for this next part is actually a very good thing because with me having ADD, I get distracted a lot, so I wasn't very good at doing homework, as you could probably imagine. Now, doing your homework, I would suggest starting after you had your after-school snack. In order for you to concentrate, what I did to try to at least concentrate was listen to music that didn't have words or anything in them. That way your concentration will be solely focused on what you're doing while your body and your brain are being entertained at the same time. And last but not least, make sure you make friends and make memories because once you're out of high school, surprisingly enough, you're going to miss it. And don't forget to smile, because I'm pretty sure you'll look great. Okay, so maybe not the best tips in the world, maybe you've heard better, that's perfectly fine. Mine are just what have helped me in the past, and I hope that they will help you too, because I know how tough school can be. So, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and Sisini Sawa. Bye guys. Whoopsh.